Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Lit Yoshi. Now, for those of you who don't know, Lit Yoshi is a rapper that represents that TBG out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he's been wrapped up in a whole bunch of shooting cases. I think he's got like 7 first-degree murder attempts or 7 counts of attempted first-degree murder right now, and it's not looking good for the Baton Rouge rapper, man. Now, for those of you who haven't been keeping track, Lit Yoshi got locked up at the same time as Fredo Bang. It was like they did a raid to check the place that Lit Yoshi was staying. I'm guessing he was staying with Fredo Bang. When they showed up there were weapons in some place, man, and then there was some stolen car out in the driveway. It just was a mess, right? This ended up getting both of them violated and both of them sent to jail. Fredo Bang has since been released according to most of the rumors online and all the pictures that he's posted, but it looks like Lit Yoshi was denied his bond the last time we checked with him, and his court date just got pushed up, you know what I'm saying, to next year. Now we're going to get into a story that comes from the Advocate, and they do most of the news for Baton Rouge area, and they've been following this closely, and I just think it's an interesting read, so let's talk about it. Now, before we get to the specifics, though, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, man, let's talk about this Lit Yoshi situation, man. Now, the story that I'm going to be referencing, the headline says it all. It says this. It says, rapper Lit Yoshi gets July trial date in Baton Rouge on multiple attempted murder counts. So basically they're talking about the fact that Lit Yoshi has a whole bunch of attempted murder cases. They even found one from years prior that they added on to this case, man. So it's looking like Lit Yoshi is going to be looking at a lot of time with all of these attempted murders. Now, none of them say murder. So, I mean, I guess you could look at that as a positive. You know, there's a limit on how much time he'll do, but it does look bad when you have so many cases at once. Now, the story starts off by saying this. It says, Baton Rouge rapper Lit Yoshi will stand trial next summer on 7 counts of attempted first-degree murder stemming from 2 rap rivalry shootings in the city last year, a judge decided on Monday. Now, the city that they're talking about is obviously Baton Rouge, and the rap rivalry that they're talking about is between 4K Trey, NBA, and TBG. Now, I mean 4K Trey and NBA, they on one side and TBG is on the other side, and that's where the lines were drawn. Now, it led to a lot of stuff in the streets, allegedly, and it's been wild, man. It's been wild. Now, the story continues by saying this. It says the trial of the jailed rap artist, whose real name is Mieyoshi Edwards, will begin July 18th. It could last more than a week. Prosecutor Stuart Thoreau told State District Judge Talbert Smith. So it looks like they're planning on the court case to last a week. I'm wondering, they're going to jam all those into 1 week? Man, this is going to be an interesting trial. But it's already set for July 18th, and I'm guessing 2022. Now, the selection of the trial date by Thoreau and Edwards' lead attorney, Ron Haley, came 2 months after Smith revoked the rapper's $1.82 million bond and sent him back to jail. The judge had set the bond last summer. So remember, last summer, Mieyoshi Edwards, or AKA, Lit Yoshi, he got released on a $1.8 million bond. He was free. He had to be in Florida, and he was able to go and work on music. He just couldn't, he couldn't be out too late. And there's certain time frames that he had to make sure that he checked in with people. It was actually a pretty good bond situation for him, and it got him out of Baton Rouge. But it looks like, man, after this situation that happened in Miami where him and Fredo Bang got locked up, everything went south, man, because they were coming to get Lit Yoshi for a whole nother case that had popped off. Now, the story continues by saying this. It says, FBI agents testified at a September 9th bond revocation hearing that 5 guns, ammunition, and a bulletproof vest were found in July in a Florida home where Edwards was under house arrest while awaiting trial in Baton Rouge on the attempted murder charges. Now, this is the incident that I'm talking about with Fredo Bang. Haley told, now remember, Haley is Lit Yoshi's attorney. Haley told Smith, and Smith being the district judge, on Monday that he intends to file a motion asking the judge to reconsider his decision to revoke Edwards' bond. Smith said his ruling stands for now, but he will consider any new evidence presented. So it looks like there's still an opportunity for Lit Yoshi to get bond. The 7 attempted first-degree murder counts that Edwards faces in Baton Rouge stem from 2 shootings, one on April 20th, 2020, and the other on the 4th of July, 2020, that injured 3 adults and 2 children. So they're saying those are the people that were injured in these 2 separate shootings, and they're alleging that Lit Yoshi is responsible. But man, I don't know. That's what they're alleging. Lit Yoshi, he does have a reputation for being a muscle for TBG. So it's a lot, man. It's a lot to digest, especially when you look online and you see all those lives where he was getting into it with people, man. It's a wonder, man. So hopefully they don't bring any of that up in court, but we will be tuned in to see. Now, the story also continues by saying this. It says detectives have attributed those shootings to a simmering feud between the rival NBA, Never Broke Again, and TBG, Top Boy Gorilla record labels, groups that authorities have also described as gangs. Edwards, that's Lit Yoshi, 22 years old, performs under the TBG label. Rival Baton Rouge rapper NBA Youngboy, whose given name is Kentrell Golden, founded the NBA group. Edwards relocated to South Florida after posting bond in August 2020, a move Smith had called prudent for his safety, but shortly after the judge scolded the rapper for treating his house arrest as a paid vacation. So, I mean, he did get house arrest in Florida, in South Florida. I mean, I understand he's not supposed to be treating it like a paid vacation. He's got to be responsible and do what they tell him to do. But if you're going to relax, you might as well relax. You feel me? Now, that doesn't mean break any crimes. I'm just saying he's in Florida. Now, the story also says this. Edwards was arrested in July in Florida in yet another rap-related shooting last year. This one in Slidell, which is what prompted the East Baton Rouge Parish District Attorney's Office to ask Smith to revoke his bond. Prosecutors cited the Slidell arrest and the guns found at the South Florida home. The Florida raid came after investigators linked Edwards to an April 2020 shooting in Slidell. Authorities also attributed the shooting to the ongoing NBA TBG feud. So basically, they're saying this Slidell shooting that happened in the month of April as well is linked to the whole NBA versus TBG thing, man. Now, they talk about how an arrest warrant was issued after one of the guys who was supposed to be a rival of them, and they're saying this. They're saying an arrest warrant prepared by Slidell police says officers discovered that the intended target of the April 29, 2020 shooting was likely a man signed to the NBA record label who allegedly had a hit out on him from a rival Baton Rouge rap group. The man and another person who was injured in the shooting had just entered a car outside a Slidell apartment complex when they were met with a hail of bullets. Now, they're trying to say that Lit Yoshi was the shooter in this situation. I mean, they're saying here, the way that they're painting this, like Lit Yoshi was all over the streets, in Baton Rouge. Now, they say the intended target who escaped without injuries was scheduled to testify against Edwards in court about a previous shooting. Detectives later found a YouTube video posted on March 2020 in which Edwards called him a snitch. So they're saying that whoever Lit Yoshi called a snitch in that video is a person that was the victim or the alleged victim in this situation, and they were also set to testify against Lit Yoshi. Fellow local rapper Fredo Bang, whose real name is Frederick Givens, also was arrested during the Florida raid after federal agents searched the home belonging to Givens and found the guns and stolen car. Givens also performs under the TBG label. Haley, who's Lit Yoshi's attorney, told Smith on Monday that the Louisiana Parole Board decided last week that Givens had not violated his parole. So it looks like that's why they released Fredo Bang. Remember, Fredo Bang is Givens. They're saying that he did not violate his parole. Law enforcement officials had previously announced they were investigating Givens and Edwards in connection with the May 2019 shooting in Miami targeting Golden, so targeting NBA Youngboy. And obviously they're talking about the Rollin' Loud concert in 2019 with the shooting with NBA Youngboy. And there was a dude who lost his life and he was an innocent bystander or whatnot, man. So this is crazy, man. And there's going to be more developments in this story as it goes along. But even in this story, they talk about the fact that Fredo Bang is free. And hopefully, man, hopefully that leads, for him to get right back in the music game. Because they said that he did not violate his parole. So that just free ticket back to Florida to working on music and back in rotation, man. It's sad because Lit Yoshi has to, he has to work out his situation. He has to figure his thing out with court, and he's obviously got a long fight ahead of him, especially when you think about the fact that his bond was revoked. So now he's going to have to fight this from in jail, and July is almost a year away. I mean, it's a long time away. I don't know, man. This is a crazy story, and it even gets deeper, but I don't want this video to go longer. What I want to do is keep focusing on each and every update as Lit Yoshi gets them, and we'll see how things go. Now, they also mentioned NBA Youngboy's move to Utah and how this will hopefully quelch the violence or the situation going on between these two camps. And with Fredo Bang in Florida, NBA Youngboy in Utah, Lit Yoshi locked up, and other TBG and NBA cats locked up. I don't know, man. Maybe this thing could really die down and these cats could get to their senses and get back to just making music, man, and leave all the foolishness behind. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Lit Yoshi has a chance in this case, looking at 7 first-degree attempted murders? Or do you think that, man, this is a done deal and we won't be hearing from Lit Yoshi a while? Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.